Good morning, friends. How are you? I am before you with new topic relating to advocate on record examination of the Supreme Court of India. My this topic is relating to Competition Commission of India, which is for the general public to control prices. But when few of the companies come together to do mischief, then what should be the solution that is cleared in this case law? The name of the case law is Excel Crops Care Limited versus Competition Commission of India. Friends, this is landmark decision by the Honorable Supreme Court in the field of competition law. It dealt with the issue of cartelization, abuse of dominance, and penalties under the Competition Act 2002. The judgment clarified that the principles for imposing penalties under the Act and also it provided significant insight into its interpretation. Going to the fact of the case, this case involved allegations of cartelization among three companies. First one was Excel Crops Care Limited, second was United Phosphorus Limited, and third one was Sandhya Organics Chemicals Private Limited. What the company did, these companies were accused of rigging bids for the supply of aluminum phosphide tablets to the Food Corporation of India. CCI investigated the matter and found evidence of collusion among the companies, resulting in anti-competitive practices under Section 3, Subclause 3 of the Competition Act 2002. This is the issue. The CCI imposed a penalty of 9% over the overall turnover of each company. Excel Crops Care Limited challenged the penalty, arguing that it should be based on the relevant turnover related to the infringing activity rather than on the total turnover of the company. This was the issue. The case was appealed to the Competition Appellate Tribunal, shortly known as COMPAT, which upheld the finding of the cartelization. What it reduced the penalty to 9% of the relevant turnover. So it did a balancing act. No doubt it said the companies are at fault, but the penalty should be on the relevant turnover, not on the overall turnover of the company. So both the CCI, who gave the initial ruling, and Excel Crops Care Limited appealed to the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, key issues before the Honorable Supreme Court were, did the companies engage in cartelization, for which they have been fined, and bid rigging in violation of Section 3, Subclause 3 of the Companies Act. So first issue was whether they are at fault. Then, if they are at fault, should the penalty under the Act be calculated on the basis of total turnover or the relevant turnover linked to the anti-competition conduct? Does the imposition of penalties under the Act adhere to the principle of the proportionality. So these were the three issues. First was whether they are guilty. Second one was whether it should be on relevant turnover or the overall turnover. Third was principle of proportionality. Then how much should be on the relevant turnover? This was the issue. The court upheld the finding of the CCI and compared that Excel Crops Care Limited and other companies had engaged in cartelization and bid rigging. This is proof. It emphasized that such conduct distorts competition and undermines public procurement processes. This Honorable Court further clarified that penalties under Section 27 subsection B of the Companies Act should be based on the relevant turnover related to the infringing activity rather than the total turnover of the company. The court observed that imposing penalty based on the total turnover could result in excessive and disproportionate punishment, especially in cases where the anti-competitive conduct pertains to a specific segment of the company's turnover. Then the court emphasized that penalties should deter anti-competitive behavior without being punitive or confiscatory in nature. The goal is to maintain a balance between deterrence and fairness. So, keeping in view the above facts, the court gave its judgment. It upheld the finding of the cartelization against Excel Crop Care Limited and other companies. It upheld the compared decision to reduce the penalty by calculating it based on the relevant turnover. This judgment laid down guidelines for calculating penalties under the Competition Act, stressing the importance of considering relevant turnover linked to anti-competitive conduct. So this was the overall issue which the court decided. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. See you again.